Hello and welcome to EV Review Ireland. My name is Derek Reilly. As you can see, we're at Tesla Dublin and it is another road trip with John Murray.
Hello.
And what we're going to do is take the Model Y to all the supercharger stations in Ireland. It's at 100%. We're hoping to do it in 25 hours, John, is that correct?
Something similar.
Yeah. And so we're at projective range of 481. But what we're going to be doing is doing all the supercharger stations and trying to end up at Tralee around 7 o'clock this evening.
Yes.
And then leaving tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. from Tralee, so we won't even get a nice breakfast there because John is shooting
Tweeting Goddess Samantha Kelly and friends in the studio tomorrow.
In the face.
At 1 o'clock.
At 1 o'clock, so we have to be back in that 7 hours. So we've worked out 7 hours driving today, 7 hours driving tomorrow. This is the second time we've done this. The last time we did it in about 12 hours. But there was a lot less stations. We've got a couple more online now.
And we didn't overnight in Tralee. I have to eat healthy as well tonight, by the way, because I'm on a weight loss buzz and my wife is watching.
Right, we won't be filming.
I didn't drink alcohol.
So next stop is going to be Castle Bellingham northbound. We'll talk about usage, etc., because some people commented on the last video that they want more stats, so we will do that.
Also comment below if you believe that Derek Reilly looks like the priest out of The Simpsons,
Reverend Lovejoy. That's going to be cut, so it makes no difference. Thanks very much and catch us in a bit. Thanks. So first step of day one is heading from Tesla in Dublin all the way up to Castle Bellingham South in County Louth, about 100 kilometres. Then after that then we're going to be heading over to Ballacolla in County Laois, about 185 kilometres, then to Mahon Point in County Cork, and then finishing up in Ballygarry Hotel in Tralee, County Kerry.
So we are on the M1 northbound. We're heading towards Castle Bellingham to the supercharger port. Now, while planning this trip, I was perfectly able to go onto the website, onto Tesla, and to figure out exactly how long, if we were to do all of the charge ports, how long we'd have to stay at each of the charge points in order to keep the car going. Now, it was about 15 minutes each. It wasn't a big deal, but
I can't, it doesn't do it on, it doesn't let me, I haven't given it the time to figure it out, because what I would like to do...
This is exactly why Elon Musk doesn't want humans being in charge of cars. This is why in the plaids he's taken away everything, stocks, the whole lot, because the less human input, the better. For all of humanity. And we've just proven that now with this, because seemingly Derek can't figure out how to operate the sat-nav in a car.
So what will happen is at the next stop we will be putting in all of the destinations that we're going to hit today, and let's see if it works.
You're going to be seeing the screenshot that I sent him.
On the screen.
On the screen.
Now.
Now.
The route we selected, the route that John selected is fairly circular, but we felt it was the most efficient. Leaving Dublin, going up to Castle Bellingham north and south, heading back on ourselves down to Ballacolla, down to Cork, and then finishing in Tralee for the night. Up to Birdhill, back slightly on ourselves, Galway, then across to Enfield. This is the current map of Tesla superchargers in Ireland at the moment. Looking forward to seeing more of them up and running over the coming months and years. We are at first supercharger stop. It is Castle Bellingham northbound, and we are at an average of 176 watt hours per kilometres and projected range of 348. There's John Murray. He doesn't know what I've edited or what I haven't done at this stage. And this is 8 stations. V2s, so 250 kilowatt, and it's an Apple Green service station as well, so you have like Burger King, you have a Costa Coffee, you have a Subway, and across then for the non-Teslas you've got 150 kilowatt. Anything else to add, John?
I'm hungry.
Yeah, we're starting to get hungry now.
Because you did a radio interview for 4.5 hours.
It wasn't 4.5 hours. So what we're going to do is shoot across to southbound Castle Bellingham. We pop in there for a nice healthy food, Vivian. And then we're going to head a long spin down to Ballacolla.
That's where we got Supermax the last time when we did the video, and it smelt of farmland.
So stay tuned. Charging station number 2, Castle Bellingham southbound at an Apple Green service station. We're actually going to get a bit of food here. This is another 8 stalls, except in a line. So northbound is back to back, 4 to 4. This is 8 stalls, V2s as well. so maximum 250 kilowatt delivery. Nothing really has changed. 173 average watt hours per kilometers, and projected range 342. We don't really have to charge here, but
we drove from one side of the motorway to the other.
So what we're going to
everybody else who does these videos online does really serious videos. We drove from one side of the motorway across a roundabout and back to the opposite side of the motorway.
True story. So we're going to top up here, even though we're at 75%. Since we left Tesla, we drove into town to bring John, drop your car off at your Ma's.
At my mama's.
And then we
to give my dad a book.
So we will see you in Ballacolla.
The place that smelled like...
Ballacolla.
Some culty place in Laois that smelled
Paul
like...
Kelly from the Tesla Owner Club corrected me on the last video as well. It's Ballacolla.
And it smelled like slurry the last time we were there.
John is not going to be ambassador for Tipperary?
No, it's in Laois.
Laois tourism.
Anywhere outside Dublin. Now they say Dublin people think that everything outside Dublin is just the countryside. And there's somebody from Mayo.
Oh, because
see, he's just off because there's absolutely no Tesla chargers in Mayo because they're still using goats on treadmills to get electricity.
I love the way that I point the camera at myself and he keeps turning back the camera.
I'm important, not him.
Right, see, and Ballacolla. Supermax there though.
Yeah, but the Supermax down there you can't eat because it smells.
Bye now. We are at Supercharger location number 3 in Ballacolla. Cola.
Laois.
We're not talking about the smell. Open the door and have a smell.
There is no smell today.
He doesn't know. He hasn't opened the door yet.
We
are at 52% battery left and efficiency. That was motorway all the way. John was also driving, and we are at 200 watt hours per kilometre. Watt hours per kilometre, 200. Is that right? Projected range of 207.
He doesn't even cut this stuff out of the video. He doesn't just go, do you know what? I made a mess of that. I'm going to go and do it again.
Why?
You
next
got all red there.
Stop. It's just the sun. Next stop is Supercharger Cork in Mahon. And it's working out that we are going to, if we leave now, we'll be at 18%. We're going to put maybe 10 minutes into this.
Yeah, why not?
And 8 stations, V2. I think the ESP have upgraded over there to a, yeah, it has. Just over there, it's a 150 and a 50 kilowatt, so there's 2 stations. This is the 3rd station we're at, supercharging station that we're at, location, and we haven't seen another Tesla all day.
Which kind of helps with the whole bro code rule. Do you know when you go into the urinals in the toilet and you're not allowed to stand next to another fella?
I'm just going to stop. Okay, talk to you later. Thank you very much.
That way.
Yeah, this good boy and follow.
Awful one-way system that they have created here to confuse Tesla drivers.
We are just pulling into the supercharger station in Cork, and you can see we've got the Tesla pop-up here, and on the actual satellite navigation just before we arrived, it will actually tell you on the Tesla system how many stalls are available. So here are version 3, and they are up to 250 kilowatts V3s, I believe.
We have a Model
Tesla
X.
Model X, and then the other 3 stalls are free, and it's saying that for us to get to Ballygarry House, which is the hotel that we're staying in tonight in Tralee, it is saying we just need 5 minutes top up. Probably you don't even need that. But what I'm going to do is show you how easy it is to use the Tesla system. So there is a payment method attached to the car. So you put your credit or debit card in there, credit I think, and it knows there's a card attached to it. It knows we're here. And so what John is going to do is press the little button. And that's going to open the charge charge port. Oh, it's raining. And you can see here we've got CCS, V3s there. All you have to do is plug it in.
And I didn't get out because I didn't want to get my hair wet.
John didn't even have to get out. And that is telling us now that we are charging. You can see up here how fast it gets. So at the moment we're at 170 kilowatts. one's 80 kilowatts, and how many kilometers per hour you would be putting in.
I intend on driving that speed.
And so it's also asked us then to 5 minutes charging time, because we put in Ballacolla estate and we're going to arrive at 8%, and the time we're going to arrive. So that integration between the charging network, the car, everything knows under everything. So it's easy for Tesla because they control the cars, they control the charging network, they control the satellite navigation. So it's a locked system. What's going to happen in Europe, what's happening now, is they're allowing others to use the Tesla network or portions of it. Hasn't happened here in Ireland, but in the UK and on the continent and in the US. I'm not sure, maybe not in the US yet. So it's interesting to see them utilising this real estate, because Ballacolla, as we turned off the video, one other car pulled up, so that was the third station. So that was 2 stalls of 6. This is only 4 stations here, so 2 of 4 used. So they've invested a lot in a network, and we might have a quick walk around the Tesla Supercharger station, or the pop-up shop down here, because they have a power wall and they've got the home charger. So,
and it's raining out.
So John's not going to join me.
I'm not that interested.
No.
I really am.
I know he is. In all fairness, he is. But maybe after the rain.
After the rain.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. Driving back down at 6 o'clock in the morning.
So it's now telling us that we've got enough charge to continue the trip, which we knew anyway. We'll have a quick walk, maybe drive around the pop-up shop so that we don't get wet.
I think they call that curb crawling.
And another reason why I'm going to stop the video now. Thank you very much. Talk to you later. So you'll see here they have a Tesla Model Y outside and a 3, very good, for test drives, etc. And the mobile technician will be based here as well. And so that's a little showroom. I'll quickly run out, go around the other side.
Yes, Jeeves.
John is my Jeeves. You're my butler, I'm not your butler. I'll show you what the Tesla Powerwall looks like. I'm sure you all know what it is already. In the rain. 3 and a Y there. You can see the difference between the two, actually. See the difference in height. 3 and a Y. And you can see that's the Tesla home charger. And then the Tesla Powerwall. Next stop, Ballacolla House. So we have the battery preconditioning coming up to the hotel. For some reason it wasn't showing the Tralee superchargers earlier on. Maybe they were used or in people, because you can see on the actual, like we talked about at the Cork one, it shows how many stalls are free. You can see the 2 there. So it's showing it there now. And we are going to do an average of 109 watt hours per kilometre.
Significantly better than the motorway miles that we did before.
Significantly better. You've got that new update where the blind spot is coming up when John indicates on the right.
But it's covering itself because of my hand position.
Oh yeah.
Which is an unfortunate thing with the screen. If I indicate left, it's coming up on the screen and my hand is across the indicator, which means that I can't actually see the screen.
Like this.
Which is quite unfortunate.
Otherwise, nice. We're just talking about how easy it is to drive a Tesla, how little we actually spent charging today based on the charging network, but also the efficiency of the car.
And the lack of the fact that it's not mentally taxing to drive the car in the first place. It is quite easy to drive. Mentally, it's quite easy to drive. It's not exhausting because it's on cruise control or the self-driving most of the time. You're not fed to the throttle the whole time, so you're not burning a lot of calories. And mentally, you're not burning a lot of calories with the car doing quite a lot to keep you in lane and stuff like that as well. So it's kind of interesting and cool.
Yeah, good driving experience. We've been chatting away, catching up. We've been on the road since pretty much 1 o'clock today, even a bit before that. So the guts of 8 hours. Had to stop and do the radio interview. But
for 4 hours.
It wasn't for 4 hours, it was for half an hour. But ironically, the radio interview was about charging network in Ireland. And it's probably one of the biggest unique selling points for the Tesla experience and why you buy a Tesla, along with the technology the way you purchase it online. But overall, yeah, very good experience. We're coming in with 14%. We will plug in. We'll keep the camera on now because we're nearly here. In the Ballacolla House Hotel. We think we're going this way.
Just try and find the chargers.
I think they're left. We'll know in a minute. Bum bum bum. Yep. Tesla Superchargers there on the wall. Here we go. And there we have 2 stalls. So this is up for the night. We'll pull in, check in. We're just going to see how long it's going to take to charge. What we're going to check is also with regards to opening the charging port, will the handle of the charger open the port for me? John is very tight there. We won't comment on that though. All right, John.
You don't need to extend the cable, so.
So yeah, there is a button here, and it did open it.
Isn't that just wonderful?
Clickety click. Electric parking for electric vehicles while charging only. Good signage there as well, explaining exactly it's for charging point only at any time. Don't park here. And then we are. What's it going to take to charge and what length of time are we going to charge? Because what we'll do is we'll charging. So we're up to 118. It looks like to be holding there. Might grow a bit above that. 14%. We'll get out. We'll get packing, or get unpacking, and otherwise, happy.
Yeah. Starving.
See you later. See you tomorrow morning. Up early. We're up around 6 o'clock. We're going to do Athenry and Eden Dairy tomorrow.
Athenry.
2 new destination locations as well at hotels, so it's good to have superchargers at those locations as well. All right. See you in the morning. So it's taking about an hour to charge it to 100%. Nice. After the overnight in Tralee, we off to Birdhill in County Tipperary, 116 kilometres, and then off to Athenry, 118 kilometres in Raheen Woods Hotel, and then the final one then to Johnstown House Hotel in Enfield, County Meath at 147 kilometres.
Good morning.
Day 2.
It's 6:12. We've been up since 5:30, which frankly was still yesterday. At breakfast, which was served to us by M&M in the hotel. The guy was the image of him. Derek wouldn't let me take pictures. And now we're heading off to Birdhill, which is on the Limerick and Tipperary border. It doesn't smell like slurry. Not a bad petrol station. Not a bad thing for a supercharger. Location
is the word John was looking for. It's a bit early for John now, so we're going to need. He's got his coffee and a tea.
I had tea.
Yeah, he needs a bit of warming up though.
Which has a higher caffeine count per gram than coffee,
but not per cup.
Don't argue with me, Derek. It's too early in the morning.
So
we had this conversation
today is
clearly we've had way too much time in this car with no radio if we're having this sort of conversation.
Oh, and then when I was on the radio, he was giving out to me as well. So there's no keeping John Murray happy.
I wasn't giving out to him. I was trying to make him laugh while he's on the radio, and that stuff is definitely not going in the video.
We will see you. We're at 100%. We've got 527 kilometre range. So today is Birdhill, Athenry, and Enfield, and then get John back for 1:30ish, all going well.
1 o'clock was the plan. Now it's pushing back to 1:30, which tells me that Derek is going to do another radio interview for 4 hours and 27 minutes.
Thanks very much, and we'll see you at the next stop.
That's a shut up, John.
Yes, it is. Still not awake. We are at Birdhill on the Tipperary Limerick border. Supercharger station number 1 on day 2. It is an 8 stall. The last 2 stalls are covered over. And there are 2 public chargers, 2 tritiums I think there's planning in for an 8 base station here with ESB, I think, but we don't need to charge. We're at, percentage-wise, 72%, 383 kilometers. Next stop, we're going off to Athenry, and
don't you be stealing my jokes, Reilly.
52% when we get there, and then the last supercharger stop will be Enfield. Anything to add, John, before you wake up yet?
Still not fully awake.
No, he's still not fully awake. He's not a morning person, folks.
I'm not an afternoon person either.
No. We might give it a couple of minutes when we're going to get a cup of coffee or something. Maybe. Stay tuned. Oh, efficiency. Somebody was asking us before. So 159 watt hours per 100 kilometers.
Because
per kilometers. Yeah.
I had 101 yesterday, didn't I?
We'll have to look back in the footage. See you when we get to Athenry. Penultimate stop. We are here in Athenry in Galway at the Raheen Wood Hotel. We're at the back, kind of an overflow car park. John is driving.
Don't drive into the hotel car park itself if you're ever down here, because there's a roundabout that's bigger than the way in.
It's a bit tight, all right. And this is a V3, 4 stalls on this side, and then on the other side there's 4. But they're covered, so they haven't got enough power to put through them yet. So there's 4 here. We're at percentage 61%, and usage is 183 watt hour per kilometer. We have a projected range of 262. Okay, you can keep popping that up there if you want. I'd like to change that to 333 is what it's saying. So next is Supercharger Enfield. John is realizing that he needs the voice commands on the
sat nav. Because when I use my own sat nav, it's completely different.
That person, he or she, tells John what to do, so he very much appreciates that. Whereas he's looking at signs here, driving this around.
And this tends to zoom in and out and rotate and do other stuff, and then
sounds like excuses to me.
Screams at me. We've been around every roundabout that we've gotten to, the whole way around it, at least twice.
So supercharger, is it a supercharger? It is a supercharger at
Enfield.
Did you see it coming up?
No. It's usually the name of the place, isn't it?
Kinnegad. Anyway. We're here. I don't think we're going to charge. We're going to go on and charge at Enfield, and we will see you soon.
There, Supercharger 6.
Enfield, Ireland. So there's 6 stations there, 6 stalls available, and we're going to navigate there.
And you won't see all of this in the video.
And we're going to be there at 10:30, and we're going to get there at 26%. Oi. 1 to go. Here we are on the last stop. We are at Enfield, which is at the Johnstown House Hotel. It is 6 V3s, 5 there, and 1 on the other side of John. Over there, we are at 24%. We have a range of. Why are you out? Anyway, 126, thanks John, range, and we're going to plug into this V3. End of our road trip
is South William Street. Derek's ringing.
And heading off, dropping John back to the South William Street then, because he's doing headshots for Tweet and Goddess Samantha Kelly.
You're really going to leave that in the video, aren't you?
Yeah. Why wouldn't I? The ringing of the phone, you think I'd do it again?
Natural people. This is where in my videos I go, John doesn't make mistakes, we leave it in, and then we leave it in and it's funny, but Derek just brushes over it.
Yeah, move on, keep going. We think this is 4.5, 5. We were driving yesterday for about 6 hours. Probably do it in 12 hours.
Yeah, realistically we could do it in 12 hours.
12 hours.
See, everyone, when you're going to do this, you're going to do it and you're not going to stop for 4.5 hours to do a radio interview in the middle of nowhere.
Or you probably won't bring a co-pilot that. I won't say that he's annoying, but
up the dubs, Derek.
Yeah. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed this road trip with myself and John. And remember, if you think an EV is for you, leave it to me and I'll review.
I have no closing words.
Good luck.